What's going on, YouTube? Back at it here with G-Rax and the Allfather for week 4 of our NFL predictions. First, as usual, grades for last week, improvement on both ends. I went 11-5. I'll take it compared to last week, but I did lose.
12-4.
Was it 12-4 or 13-3? I think you're selling yourself short. I think
13-3. Wow. Listen to me, then call your bookie.
So he wins again, but at least I did well enough to avoid the hat this week. I don't have to break that out just yet. But this will be the end of his streak. I'm sick of this, and now I have a solid idea of what the teams are doing. So here we go. Gonna jump in.
So no more excuses for you.
No more. If we lose this week, then what can I say? You won. But it's gonna be a long season, and I will prevail. We're gonna start with tomorrow night's Thursday night awesome rivalry game, Ravens at Steelers. Pretty awesome game here, but without Big Ben, it's not quite what it should be. I think with Ben, I would have given it to the Steelers easy with the way the Ravens are looking. 0-3 breaks my heart. You know, I just can't get over it.
I feel terrible for those Ravens.
Does suck.
Harbaugh, such a nice guy. You're a dick.
Well,
So who's it gonna be?
It's tough now. Honestly, I think even without Ben, Le'Veon Bell's back, I think they still have the weapons. It's gonna be real close, and I'm not too comfortable in this pick, but I'm going with the Steelers in a real close one.
I knew you were gonna say that. No way do the Ravens go 0-4. Ravens are gonna go into Pittsburgh. Mike Vick is not gonna be prepared. Even without Suggs, I like the Ravens at Pittsburgh only because Ben's not playing. Ravens, close game. Ravens are going to take it in Pittsburgh.
So we split right off the bat. That's one for the Steelers, one for the Ravens. Moving on to another division game, Jets at Dolphins. This one I think is a bit easier of a pick, even with the Jets losing last week. The Dolphins.
Stupid mistakes by the typical Jet nonsense. They had the game and gave it away.
They gotta get it together, and this is a perfect week to do that, playing the absolutely hapless Dolphins. Losing to Jacksonville, and then rebounding by getting the shit kicked out of them.
By Buffalo.
By Buffalo. Rexy. Sexy Rexy. So,
it's nice to know Rex can beat somebody in the AFC East.
Yeah, even though he won, he's still talking about the Pats. And
we're so far in his head, we should be judging him.
I love it. I do love it. But anyways, Dolphins, I'm sorry, you suck bad, and Jets are gonna probably manhandle you. Not as bad as the Bills, but Dolphins lose this one. I'm going with the Jets. Pretty comfortable lead.
For all you people out there that need a defense for your fantasy team, this is the week to take the Jets. The Jets are going to get, 5 or 6 sacks, 3 or 4 interceptions. There'll be forced fumbles. Tannehill will be running for his life. Jets, easy in Miami.
So that's 2 for the Jets. Moving on to Jags at Colts. Here we go with what the Colts really need is to play a shittier opponent. Jags, they're the Jags. They're better than last year, better than recent efforts anyways, but I think the Colts will continue their rebound in this one, and it'll probably be close still, because despite the Colts squeaking by the Titans, they still suck. So I'm gonna at least think they can take the Jags and give it to the Colts in a close one.
It won't be that close. Indy by at least 10. Easy.
So that's 2 for the Colts. Moving on, Giants at Bills. Here we go. This one will be pretty good. I'd say these teams are evenly matched. It's kind of a tough pick, but it is in Buffalo. G-men have been shaky. I'm going to go with the Bills here. It might even be, well, it won't be a blowout. G-men will keep up at the very least. But I'm going to go with the Bills in probably a close one, I guess.
Eli's going to spend the majority of this game on his back. He's going to
rush is coming.
He is going to get the snot beat out of him. Bills roll in this one.
2 for the Bills.
This might be the game that finally gets Coach Coughlin on the hot seat. It's going to be pitiful.
Oh, yeah. After his 2 Super Bowl wins, that's what's kept him around for these last few shitty years. But like you said, I think he's worn out his good grace from those wins, and he's at risk here.
Definitely.
That's 2 for the Bills. Moving on to Panthers at Bucks. Jameis did not get it done last week for me like I thought he might. And the Panthers, they're 3-0 right now. How about that?
It's a weak 3-0 though.
It is a weak one, but again, playing another weak game. I think Cam gets it done. Oh, and Jared Allen joining Kuechly, joining that pretty sweet Panthers D. I'd be excited if I was a Panther fan. And
definitely won't hurt.
Sure won't. What a steal. 6th round pick. Chicago's just like, fuck it.
It's a yard sale.
Season's over.
It's a fire sale in Chicago.
So, Panthers are going to look good and they're going to roll. They're going to win large, I'd say.
The only guy that won't get picked up is Jay Cutler. Yeah. Let's see. Panthers, easy, I think. Panthers can get pressure on Jameis, so I like the Panthers in this one. Might be close for a while, but I like the Panthers in the end. At Tampa, too.
Yep. Can't even give them home field credit. So that's 2 for the Panthers. Moving on to Eagles at Redskins. This one is what the doctor ordered for the Eagles, too. They, despite pulling out the win, I do think they get it done this week. Playing the Skins, who despite a win of their own, I don't think this week. What did they do this week?
Who?
Skins. Who did they play? I'm having a brain block. I don't know. Anyways, Eagles are gonna continue their rebounding and win against the Skins. Probably pretty large.
I predicted the Eagles would beat the Jets last week.
I did not.
The Eagles, they look pitiful first couple of games, but they're starting to get it. I like the Eagles in Washington. It'll be interesting to watch, but I think the Eagles will win by at least 10.
I'd say that's safe. So that's 2 for the Eagles. Moving on, Raiders at Bears. What a game here. I bet the whole world's pumped to see this one.
I don't even know who's on the Bears anymore.
Not Forte and Cutler's who I could name. And
Cutler's hurt.
And Forte will be, I bet they trade him. He's still got some value.
Yep.
But
get something for the future, perhaps.
Anyways, as we said, the Bears have said fuck it, and they know this season's lost. Raiders are still going to be fighting for theirs, and I think the Raiders take a close one.
Raiders are improving. They're not bad. I mean, they won't make the playoffs, I don't think, but they'll have enough to beat the Bears this week in Chicago.
It's 2 for the Raiders. Moving on to Texans at Falcons.
Falcons, aren't they undefeated
They
still?
sure are, and they're looking pretty decent, actually. It's not a real... Well, they haven't played anyone great, but they have looked pretty good in their games, so I won't say it's a cheap 3-0, but I think they go 4-0. Texans still aren't getting it together.
Texans,
didn't they win last week? But
yeah, but they don't look good yet.
A cheap one. I think Falcons take it easy. Falcons large in this one. especially at home. Maybe they'll pump crowd noise again.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn about this one. I still want to root for the Texans, but
I love them, but they
Yeah.
just can't get it together.
All right, I'm gonna go with my. I don't know. I'm gonna go with my heart on this one instead of my head. I'm gonna take the Texans in an upset in Atlanta.
That is a bold one, and I'm happy you did that.
I did it last week. Look who won.
Well, that's that's one for the Falcons, one for the Texans.
The All-Father is all-knowing.
I think the All-Father finally takes a wound in his...
Chink in my armor?
That's right.
I doubt it.
So one for the Texans, one for Falcons. Moving on, Chiefs at Bengals. Chiefs,
both of these teams can put up some points.
They can. It'll be a pretty good game anyways. I'd say they're pretty evenly matched. If not, the Bengals are certainly the better of the two, and it is at home. So I say your boy Andy Dalton and the Bengals get it done this week for maybe a comfortable Bengals win.
Bengals are 3-0, right?
Yes, sir.
Chiefs are hurting right now. The Pack's
Just
trying to slap them around.
Who was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodgers, 5 TDs. My word.
Yeah. And I can see the Bengals doing the same thing with A.J. Green.
He was insane. I'm so glad to have him on my fantasy team.
I'd like to have him on the Patriots.
Oh, shit.
Chiefs are definitely due. I mean, they haven't played badly on offense if they can just hold on to the damn ball.
Jamal, fumbles.
I just don't think they're going to have enough. Bengals are on a roll. I'm going to take the Bengals at home.
That's 2 for the Bengals. Moving on to Browns at Chargers.
Who cares?
Chargers, you'd think they'd be better, but they haven't been. They've been sucking all season.
Phil is showing his age, boy.
He shouldn't be showing it now. He hasn't gotten it done yet. He's one of those pretty good QBs who might never win the big one.
His best days are behind him. If they couldn't win it, years ago with LaDainian Tomlinson on that team, and they were at the height of their strength back then, and they couldn't do it. I just think they're all done. I just don't think there's anything left. It's too bad, because Phil Rivers is a fun guy to watch. But
yeah, I like him. He's a cool guy off the field too, but that doesn't win you games.
And I would love to see him beat the Browns of all.
Browns still won't go with Manziel.
Why should they?
I always said don't play him, he sucks. I said it at the beginning of this little video show we've been doing, but
I can't stand that kid.
The one game he played, they got the W, and then they sat him right back down, and that's where he's staying.
Probably went out and got a keg and 6 hookers and an 8-ball.
We haven't seen much of his childish behavior. I think he might be finally learning.
That's because he lives with like an assistant coach now, and they friggin' babysit him like a child.
Well, anyways,
Who are you taking in this one?
I'm not taking the Browns. I'm going to give it to the Chargers. Phil's at least young enough, healthy enough to beat the Browns at home.
I don't know about that, but I'm going to agree with you and take the Chargers at home. I don't know what the score will be. I mean, this is an impossible game to predict, but I like the Chargers at home. I like the quarterback better for San Diego. So Chargers at home.
That's 2 for the Chargers. Moving on. Packers at Niners. Here's probably the easiest pick yet. Not much to discuss here other than Niners suck, Kaepernick sucks, Packers are phenomenal, Rodgers is second best to only Tom Brady, and I know a lot of people might want to debate me on that one, but I'll give him his due anyways. He's a phenomenal QB. I love him.
When Brady retires, it'll be Rodgers' time.
Yeah, I might even be a huge Rodgers fan when that time comes. I've always loved Aaron.
Plus he's banging my girl Sloan.
She is cute, Olivia Munn.
Oh.
So I'm taking the Pack. I assume you're taking the Pack.
I don't care if they played this game on the moon. I don't think the 49ers have a shot in hell at winning this game. Although, if you're going to beat the Pack, you're going to beat them on the road, but this isn't the team to do it.
No.
So, yeah, give me the Pack.
It's 2 for the Pack in what will probably be a blowout. Moving on to Rams at Cardinals.
It's a tricky one, yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Rams look good beating Seattle, like they always do.
They match up well with
Yeah.
them.
And they haven't looked bad in their losses. Well, they haven't looked good either. And the Cardinals are one of those. They're right now top 4 teams. I'd put them at number 4, maybe 5. But they're a deceptively good team. Like, they can have an excellent record, win games, look great, but
Carson Palmer's playing real well.
I just don't trust them. Like, they look awesome, but don't be surprised if they lose quick in the playoffs. They're that sort of team.
Well, they have a tendency to get hurt late in the year, too.
I won't dock them for last year.
Everybody
they got
looks
riddled.
good in the beginning of the year. Until injuries start to creep up on you, everyone's got a shot.
But being that it's at home and the Cardinals are looking excellent right now and it's against the Rams, I give it to the Cards in a real easy one.
I don't think it'll be easy, but I'll take the Cardinals as well. It won't be as easy as you think, but I wouldn't even be surprised if the Rams pull an upset here. But I'm gonna stick with the Cardinals, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams squeak it out. But I'm not picking them.
So that's 2 for the Cards. Moving on to Vikings at Broncos. Vikings have been improving. They've looked, I'd say, middle of the pack where all teams are concerned. But they are playing the Broncos, and it is an easy pick. I think it'll be Broncos easy, but that's not to say the Broncos are the Broncos of 2 years ago.
Definitely not.
When Peyton first joined. There's something different in a bad way. Their wins have all been pretty close, and they haven't looked too stellar in those wins. A lot of people still don't realize it, but I don't think they are that great, but they are great enough to beat the Vikings at home. I give it to the Broncos.
This is where you're going to see if Adrian Peterson is healthy, because it's hard to run on Denver's D.
Number 1 D in the whole league there.
If Adrian Peterson, this is where you're going to see if he's really still got it or not. I like the Broncos at home, but this is where we'll see what Adrian's made of.
It's a shame that the Broncos...
Won't be as easy as beating a kid with a stick.
That's good practice anyways.
Fucking someone should beat him over the head with a bat.
Yeah, he paid his due, they say.
Fucking please.
So
Did he get paid during that suspension?
No, I don't think so. I certainly would hope not, but I don't think he did. I think it's game check based, and he didn't play any games.
Yeah, but if you get guaranteed money, it's different. I don't know. I hope not.
But anyways, these Broncos with that number 1 D, it's crazy. If you had told me 2 years ago that the Broncos would have the number 1 D this year, I'd say, well, they're obviously winning the Super Bowl.
They're not going to end the year with the number 1 D.
Probably not.
3 games in, they've looked good, but it's not gonna last.
But the fact that they're
I would take the Jets or the Buffalo or St. Louis for that matter. No, I'm sorry. Arizona, Buffalo, and the Jets D. Right now, I'd take all 4 of them, but I think at the end of the year, Broncos won't end up number 1. They're good now.
If Coop start letting them play Peyton's offense,
Coobs.
they'll be a powerhouse. But Peyton,
Guy moves around like a venereal disease.
he just has unlucky runs. He's still great, isn't he?
He's a human form of the clap.
Well, anyways, 2 for the Broncos. Moving on, Cowboys at Saints.
It hurts when I pee. Go ahead, what?
Cowboys at Saints now, and both teams without their starting QBs, so that'll be interesting.
Well, I think Drew's coming back this week.
He's been practicing, throwing it, but it's hard to say if he'll be back. That would be, honestly...
I don't think it'll matter.
That's why I say rest him, but even without
Yeah, but
Romo and Dez.
You don't want to get too deep in a hole. I mean, you're going to have to play the guy. I mean, they don't have a shot without him. So.
Yeah, they haven't looked great with him, and they need to start winning some games to get the playoff hope up. So if he can play, and if it's not going to hurt him anymore, they should play him, because if he does play, I think they take it over the Cowboys. But if he does not play, I'd say the Cowboys are going to take it, and I'm going to do this pick based on the assumption that he's not going to play, and I'm going to give it to the Cowboys in a real close one, even at the Superdome.
Don't the Saints have Who-Man now?
They got my boy Who-Man. Congrats, Saint. You got a hell of a player there,
I don't
Saints.
think it's going to be enough. I mean, Who-Man was like a fan favorite. He was
We didn't use him.
No,
he
we
looked great.
You didn't need to. You had Gronk.
Yeah.
And, I don't care if Drew Brees is playing or not. The Cowboys are going to go in there and win. Won't be by a whole lot, but they're going to win.
So that's 2 for the Cowboys. Moving on to the final game of the week. Lions
Getting
at
their asses
Seahawks.
kicked by the Seahawks in Seattle.
Cam Chancellor's coming back. They're playing the Lions, who haven't looked very good. I think Seahawks begin that road to recovery from the shitty Seahawks they've looked like, and maybe start morphing back into their true selves, the Seahawks of last year. I'm going to give it to them in an easy one, seeing as it's at home.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks big in this one. Is that the Sunday night game?
That's Monday night.
Oh, so what is it? Cowboys Saints the Sunday night game?
Sunday night is Cowboys Saints. That'll be a pretty fun one.
So that's a West Coast team. So it doesn't matter. I mean, the Seahawks are going to kill them.
So that's 2 for the Seahawks. And that
The Seahawks are going to kill them, and then the Seahawks are going to start getting all cocky again and act like dicks until they have to play Green Bay.
Oh, God, I can't wait
They
to
might
see
run
that.
the table until they play Green Bay.
That would be a hell of a game to watch. Seahawks.
Bet the house on Green Bay this year. It ain't happening. Especially if it's in Green Bay.
If things keep up like right now, it's an obvious Pats Pack Super Bowl, which would be insane.
We're 3 games in. Let's not get
Yeah,
that.
that's why I say, as it looks now, a lot is and will happen, or can and will happen throughout the season.
Absolutely.
But barring any big injuries, I think it's definitely favorite to pick Pats Pack. And even though it's week 4, I'm going to go with that for my bold prediction Super Bowl. Not very bold, Pats Pack.
Yeah, the only team that scares me in the AFC right now would be Denver or, believe it or not, Cincinnati, who hasn't won a playoff
There,
game
yeah,
in a
that's
long
literally
time.
the only 2
They're the
threats,
only 2.
I'd say.
But Kansas City, on the other hand, matches up well against the Pats through a beating on us last year. But right now, if the season was to end right now, the only teams I'd be worried about in the AFC is Denver and Cincinnati. But we'll see. Cincinnati has a way of fading.
This is honestly...
And the Chiefs fade, too. They faded last year.
Cincinnati, at this exact moment last year, they were 3-0.
And then we stomped
Yeah,
them after the Kansas City
After
game.
the Pats, our Pats got crushed
Did
by
you hear
KC.
what's his name, the Chiefs coach, what's his name?
I don't
Reed,
know.
Andy Reid.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They asked him, they said, well, how do you feel about
I
that
heard
game? He goes,
this.
we're on to Cincinnati.
That's so awesome.
He's channeling his inner Bill Belichick for that one.
I want an On to Cincinnati t-shirt. I love that.
Well, the bad thing is you have to get your ass kicked in a game just to say you're on to the next one. So I don't see the Pats losing for so. I think the next game, Pats against Dallas, will be an interesting game, but it would be better if they had Dez and Tony. So
Yeah,
I think the
which
Pats
they
will go in
won't.
there. But you know what's going to happen? The Pats are going to go in there. It's going to be competitive down to the end. Pats aren't going to kill them, especially in Dallas, but they'll win.
Yeah, I think that's a
But
safe
that's a
one.
prediction for a different day.
Next week sucks that this stupid bye week on
Dumb.
week 4. That shouldn't
No
even
one should
happen.
no one should have a bye after at week 4.
I say week 6 is the very earliest they should ever schedule a bye.
Yeah.
It's the point of a bye is to rest up as a halfway point for the season. Like you've played many games,
Yeah,
all
but you
right,
gotta
take
get
a break,
Yeah, but you
get
gotta
healthy.
get everybody a bye. You can't do it late with everybody.
It's scheduling.
It always happens in week 4 for someone. It's just never happened this way for us.
Yeah, and I don't think it should happen to anyone. If you have to put more teams on a bye each week, then so be
Yeah,
it.
that would be.
But,
And that's something they'll probably bring up in the what's that committee called? I don't know. There's a committee they have for the league at the end of every year.
rules.
The rules committee.
It's been
whatever
like this for a
committee.
while now. I don't know if they'll address it. I wish they would because it blows. Now we get to play 13 games in a row. That sucks.
Well, that's why I think Belichick's gone out and bolstered up the defense, picking up a couple of guys.
Hopefully we're sitting so pretty at the end around week 14 we
The only one
can
that's
start
sitting pretty is me
benching.
with my picks.
Not this week. I think I'm taking this.
Bills, you're getting schooled left and right.
Well, we will see, as that is it for our picks this week.
How'd Iowa do?
Oh, who knows? Who even watches Iowa?
I'm trying to keep up with them. I can't even find them online.
Can anyone tell us about ISU out there? Any fans?
Iowa State, how they doing? What conference are they in?
Like I know college. I watch the games, but I don't pay any
I pay
further
attention. I'll read about it if Boston College wins, but other than that, I couldn't even tell you what conference they're in.
People who don't know us must be like, why the fuck are they always talking about ISU?
Because they have a fanatical fan base.
They have a certain fan. How you doing, ass?
Poor bastard. You poor
At least he has the
bastard.
pack to watch.
At
and
least you're
cheer on.
married now. You got that going for you.
There you go.
Worked out so well for me.
You might have made a worse choice. You never know.
I believe in the institution of marriage.
Well, anyways,
Fucking institution.
it's been a lot of fun. I think I took this one, and that's all I got to say. That's that.
Be prepared to see him wearing the silly dumbass of the week. Ass, whatever it is.
I think we'll whip that out if it's a real bad week, the hat will return.
Well, if it's a real bad week, you and I picked most of the games the same way. I went out on a limb on a couple.
If we ever tie on a shitty week, I think we'll have to construct another hat because we deserve it. Last week, we both deserved it, but I did even worse, so
you deserved it more.
But made a comeback this week, even though you did better. Whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see this week.
It's only week 3. You have a lot of time to, wake up and.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can be there when I'm gloating over this prick when he finally gets his comeuppance.
This prick. If anyone needs advice, you listen to what I have to say. You'll make some money.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend placing bets on my
listen
picks
to him making
just
excuses
yet.
every week why he had his head up his ass.
Well, look
Adios,
forward to more
everyone.
from us, YouTube. We'll see you later for now.